What is up, everyone? It is Nick here with Ghost Bros Gaming, and today I'm going to be going over the best cards for your side deck post Photon Hypernova. But before I do, please hit that like and subscribe button. It really helps us out. All right, let's do it.
Ghost Bros Gaming.
First up on the list is going to be the pair of Triple Tactics Talent and Triple Tactics Thrust. Talents is just such a versatile card, which goes for Thrust as well, both extremely versatile. If you drew Talents with Thrust, you can search out a normal spell, whether that be an Instant Fusion if you're playing True Elements, or a Kashtira Theosis if you're playing Kashtira, or use it to search out some of these other cards that I'm going to be talking about later on. Either way, these are staple cards that are going to be in your side deck, if not your main deck in the upcoming format. Next up, I've got two cards that are basically pure Kashtira hate that you're going to be needing to have in your side deck, which is Nibiru and Book of Eclipse. Both are heavily talked about right now. Nibiru basically clears the whole board for Kashtira, which is just amazing. Book of Eclipse is great because it flips them all face down, so both handle the entirety of the board. And I did cover a video, which I'll link right here if I can figure out how to do that in the editing room, as to how to beat Kashtira. But these are the two best options. Alright, and so for cards that I'm going to put in the second tier, or basically these are cards that are going to help you with other matchups that aren't quite as auto-win matchups, or maybe these are tech choices depending on if your deck can play them, but they're probably going to see a lot of play. First up is going to be Chaos Hunter and potentially Muckracker as an extra deck option, because if you mill Chaos Hunter as True Elements, you can special summon Muckracker and special summon it back out. Next up would be Raigeki / Dark Hole. These cards are good. With Dark Hole, you're able to clear the Ibli lock if Kashtira does that on you. Raigeki is also a card that saw a lot of play in the OCG, although I don't think it is quite as good against Kashtira as, say, like Nibiru, Book of Eclipse, or even Chaos Hunter, in my opinion. These two cards I actually think are going to be extremely relevant in the upcoming meta, and that is Lava Golem and Spear Mode. Spear Mode, I would definitely say less so than Lava Golem. With True Elements Kashtira, True Elements don't need their normal summon as much, and it's likely that they're going to start playing Lava Golem to remove the Shangy Ra and the Kashtira Arise Heart, so that they can have cards in their graveyard and free up their zones. It's a really excellent play, and with that out of the way, they really only have to fight through, say, like one more or potentially two more disruptions if they have the Big Bang Trap set. I do think that Lava Golem is a great card, and it's very versatile, so it doesn't really matter so much that it only works for Kashtira, because it would also work against almost any other deck. Next up is the cards that you know and love, the Bystials. They're still going to be in the format, they're still going to be side deck, but they're not going to be seen as, like, you know, 9 main deck Bystials like we saw in some of the other YCSs. In the OCG, we saw, say, like 3 or 4 Bystials side decked, say like 2 or 3 Magnemite and 1 Bystial Baldrake, which is the new one coming out in Photon Hypernova. But rest assured, you're going to have at least 2 or 3 Bystials in your side deck. Two other cards I want to mention are Mind Control and Change of Heart. Now, these cards have seen a ton of play in the OCG, but they just haven't had the same impact here in the TCG. That could potentially change, as Triple Tactics Thrust can search these two cards. These are searchable from Triple Tactics Thrust, similar to Raigeki and Dark Hole. And yeah, I mean, they're good options. A lot of times when people activate talents on me, it feels like they're taking my monster, so why not just take it? The next category I have are trap cards, so they're really only good going first, and I would probably want to dedicate like 3 cards in your side deck to this, if any at all. Most decks have trouble going second, so this is not where most decks need help. Going first is not where most decks need help, but these traps are really good options. And keep in mind that some of them are searchable by Thrust, which will probably already be in your side deck. Appointer of the Red Lotus is the first card that I'll talk about. Kashtira is already a super bricky deck. Ripping 1 card from their hand is super impactful, and being able to potentially rip out a card that would destroy your board, also super impactful. Like, let's say you're playing True Elements and you set up a board, and then you make you activate a pointer and you see they have a Lava Golem. No brainer. That just makes their hand 5 cards instead of 6, and you took away one of their best ways to clear your board. So a pointer is a great card in the next format. I think it's going to be awesome. Next up would be Solemn Judgment. Judgment's going to see a lot of play, I believe, in Kashtira. Kashtira definitely plays a build/protect a board type of deck, and Solemn Judgment is just always played in those decks because that way you can protect the board that you're building. Next up would be Anti-Spell Fragrance. This is a huge Kashtira counter as well. I don't think a lot of people realize how hard this counters the deck. The unfortunate thing about Anti-Spell Fragrance is that if they do have Fenrir in hand, they can't just summon the Fenrir, attack, and banish the Anti-Spell Fragrance and then do their stuff in main phase 2. So there is that option, but it does hurt them a good bit. Dimensional Barrier is another card. If you call XYZ on Kashtira, like, I don't even think they run like 3 total cards in their extra deck that are not XYZs. If you activate Dimensional Barrier, which is searchable by Thrust, remember, they basically skip their turn. So I would highly consider Dimensional Barrier. Imperial Iron Wall, which says cards cannot be banished. Potentially a really good trap. Not searchable through Thrust, so that is not an option. But if cards can't be banished, then Kashtira's strategy is pretty much gone. Like, they really don't have anything to do there, which is part of the reason why Chaos Hunter is so strong. It is a one-sided unmacrocosmos, opposite of macrocosmos. So yeah, it has seen a little bit of play in the OCG, but I would say that Imperial Iron Wall would be a good option as well for your side deck if you really hate Kashtira. All right, so that is it for the best side deck options post Photon Hypernova. If you disagree or you think we missed a card, please put it down in the comments. We'd love to hear it. And don't forget to smash that like and subscribe button. We'll see you next time on Ghost Bros Gaming.
Ghost.